This is Joe with US Sander, and we're going to be showing you how to take the top roller off a KT sander. This one is a NT8. The process is the same for the KT Taurus. You're going to want to start by releasing your tension, let your roller up all the way. Make sure you've got no sandpaper on it. Before you begin, you want to measure the distance between this housing here and the top roller bracket. In this case, it's 1 inch. We're going to want to remember that for when we go to put this back on to make sure it goes back in the same place. We need a 5mm Allen wrench, and we want to remove the inner screw on this lower bracket. Between this. Next, you want to loosen up the second screw. And with a pair of water pump pliers, you can turn this to release your spring tension. Notice now it's loose if we hold up on the roller. Now this top second bracket can be removed. Releasing our spring tension. Notice the curved side of this goes towards the roller. We'll need to remember that for when it comes time to put it back together. This is a ground down 36mm wrench to loosen the nut. If you don't have a 36mm wrench, you can try using pliers or something to loosen this nut. Once the nut is loose, use this. In this case, I've got a 4mm Allen wrench, but a screwdriver will work to unthread this bracket. Once that's unthreaded, this comes right out through the side. We've got the roller off here and on the bench. Now let's inspect it and see how much wear we've got. First thing we want to do is check for taper in this roller. This end measures about 2.2 inches and this end 2.25, so that's 25 thousandths difference. That's a little much for this case. But if we look closely here, we can see this is almost to a sharp edge, whereas on a brand new one, there's a lot of more meat there. So this one is pretty much at the end of its life. And also, if you look at these end rollers, that's a continuous taper, and there's a deep groove cut in this one. So all of these rollers are going to need to be replaced. If you look here at this one, we took off a machine previously. It's worn right down to a sharp point, whereas that end, not so much. That's a pretty typical case. When these wear down, they'll wear to a sharp edge, and then eventually this will fall apart. But before it gets to that point, you'll start to see it in the floor. You'll get chatter, you'll notice vibration in your sanding belts. You want to replace those rollers before it gets to that point.